here is our next topic on operations research, which is an MBA second semester third examination. Let's quickly run through the important questions for the exams. So when it comes to the first chapter, which is mostly on theory, important questions are operations research application advantages, disadvantages, linear programming program, LPP, and its business applications, advantages, disadvantages, dynamic programming problem, phases of operating research, objectives of operating research, and applications of operating research. So basically from this set of questions, operations research, advantages, disadvantages, objectives, and applications are the most important questions for the short answers. Now let's quickly run through the second chapter, which includes the sensitivity analysis and implications. A very important questions from this chapter. It can come either in the short answer or in the long answer questions. The next question we have is simplex method, degeneracy in LPP and how it is solved. This is again an important question for short answers. Economic interpretation of dual and slack variable duality in LPP and the rules to form duality. So from this second unit, sensitivity analysis and the degeneracy in LPP is the most important questions. And then we'll move on to the practical aspect of the second chapter, which includes solving of LPP using simplex and the graphical method. Simplex method is the most important question. So do check for all the practical problems on solving LPP using simplex method, and then solving using dual LLP and the big M theory. So big M theory has been recently asked once or twice, but not very frequently. So you can look into LPP simplex method and dual LLP. And then comes the chapter 3, where we have the theory questions, transportation problem, wherein degeneracy is the most important question, and then the algorithm. Next being assignment problems, traveling salesman problem. So transportation problem, assignment problem, and traveling salesman problem, you have to distinguish these three from each other. So you have to identify the differences between them, which is our fourth question. And then the methods of solving transportation problem, Modi method, Hungarian method, matrix minimum method. These questions were for shorts, and moreover we have restricted assignment problem and Vogel's approximation method. So these questions are most important for the short answer questions. And the long answer question that can be expected is managerial application of assignment problem, traveling salesman. So this ninth question can come as a long answer question. Now we'll look into the next practical aspects of this third chapter, wherein solving an assignment problem to find an optimal solution is the most important and the very frequently asked problem from the third chapter. And then the traveling salesman problem, which includes the minimum route to be selected so that the total distance traveled will be minimized and the optimum schedule for transportation. So these two questions were being mostly asked in the examination, so please pay special attention to them. And then we have unit 4, which is again mostly you'll come across the practical questions from this chapter. However, the short answer questions can be from the theory. So PERT and the time cost trade off in project crashing, very important question for the long answers. In case if you don't have an option to solve a practical question, you can utilize this theory question to answer it. Fulkerson's rule in network analysis, application of PERT and CPM techniques. So CPM and PERT compare, all these questions are most important for the short answer questions. Forward, backward, pass methods in networks, which is again a long answer question. Critical path method is a short answer. Merits, demerits of network analysis, this can be asked as a long answer question. And the last questions we have are burst event, crashing, and resource leveling in network analysis. So crashing and resource leveling can be asked as two separate questions in short answer questions as well. Resource smoothing, earliest time, total activity time, event slack, critical path. So what happens during our examination is they'll just ask you these questions in long answer questions with multiple sub questions. If you can just answer the definitions of them, you'll get full marks. So these questions are most important for both small answer and the long answer questions. So pay specific attention to the explanation of these questions. And then we'll move on to the practical portion of unit 4, which is drawing network, compute earliest and the latest times, compute total float and the free float questions. So the free float and drawing network is the most important question, so please pay specific attention to this kind of problems. And the next one being optimum and the minimum duration of the project, probability of completing the project. The last one is again a most important practical question. So probability of completing the project, they'll give you few specifications, you have to solve the problem accordingly, so pay specific attention. And then we'll move on to the last chapter, unit 5, which is having again theory and the practical questions. Practicals are mostly in the long answer questions. For short answers, you have to read definitions again. So application of simulation to different management problems, queuing theory and its advantages, cost analysis and queuing model, saddle point, zero sum game, reneging, dominance rule in game theory, process of simulation, MM1 model of queuing theory, pure strategy, mixed strategy, payoff with reference to the game theory. So all these definitions can be asked in combination. In a long answer question, they'll ask you 4 or 5 definition to explain, and they'll give you full marks if you write the definitions accurately. Moreover, these can be included as a single definition in your short answer questions as well. And last comes the practical questions of this chapter, which is Poisson arrival and exponential service times with the infinite problem. So this is again a most important problem for this chapter. Solve using dominance and find game value. Zero sum games is again an important question, most important question I would say. Mean arrival time and zero payoff matrix sum game. So in fact it's zero sum game payoff matrix. So payoff matrix, zero sum games, and Poisson arrival and exponential service are the most frequently asked and most important questions for practical point of view of this chapter. And now the most important thing, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Do share with your friends and help them too. Good luck for your examinations. Do your best. Thank you.